This is a brisket. This is no ordinary brisket. This is a Walmart brisket. Why get a Walmart brisket? Because this brisket was $65. Every other one that we found in town that was way smaller than this was 130 bucks. Hey everybody, welcome to Chef Dad, and this is a brisket. We're going to show you that it doesn't matter where you buy your brisket. It's going to turn out amazing. I keep throwing it on.
Yes, you do. It's loud.
She's a chunky one. Oh, hey. You. Oh man, look, they nicked my brisket. It's a weird brisket. Maybe that's why it was at Walmart. We're going to start. That kept down. Yeah. And we're just going to clean up this backside. This wasn't labeled whether it was select choice. So, that's probably the lowest grade you can get. But we're going to clean up some of this hard fat sinew on the backside because it doesn't break down while you're cooking a brisket. Right over here you got this massive fat pocket. This is hard fat. It's never going to render out. So I'm gonna get that out of here. Don't want to waste any of that meat. And we can, if we cut anything off with meat on it, we just put it into our burger making stash. Anything that you do cut off with good amount of meat, just turn it into burger. Cause brisket burger is wonderful. And if you were trimming this for a competition, you'd want to be taking your time, doing it a lot slower, making sure everything looked perfect. But we're not. We're cooking for the family, and what do they want to do? Not look at your brisket, eat your brisket. But you do get a little bit better product if you take the time to clean up some of this schnot right now. We're going to go ahead and cut a big chunk of this fat out from around this mohawk. Oh. Man, this has a really tall mohawk on it too. You just keep trimming until you find the edge of that fat layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim all the fat off of this point muscle up here, and then the flat lays underneath of it. So we want about a 1/4 inch of fat left on the flat. Because this is the moist meat, this is the dry meat. Lean meat, fatty meat. Well, easy now. Don't want to cut too far into that meat there. You can see this fat line right here. That is the separation of the two muscles. Here's your point, here's your flat. You can see the flat is running this way, the grains of meat, and the point is running this way. So you've got them running like this. Two separate muscles that we cook together. So this is the edge, top edge of the point where it rolls over this flat. So I'm wanting to leave about a 1/4 inch of fat over this portion of it. You can see there's not a whole lot of fat on here. I'm just dressing it up. This is plenty good enough for what I want. There's plenty of fat over the flat. The point looks good. We're just going to get it seasoned up. We're shooting for a good bark on here. We'll measure out 2 to 1 to 1 ratio of salt, smoked salt, pepper, and garlic. Get this seasoned up and then get it on the smoker. So we're going to go in with this is smoked morale and shiitake salt. Go for 1. And that's too small of a bowl, isn't it? I did so good. There's 1. I'm using a lot of pepper to do this. Could have done a lot less than this, but this is how I do it. 2 parts pepper, 1 part salt, 1 part garlic. Gonna make sure this is good and mixed. Go ahead and start making sure you get every centimeter of your brisket covered. Make sure you get the sides, rookie move. Because we want crust all over this. do the flip. I don't like doing binders when I do briskets and ribs, whether it's hot sauce or vinegar, water, or mustard. Do whatever you want. Maybe give it a little pat down. Now that we got the brisket all seasoned up, we're gonna take it out, but we're gonna use the Pit Boss pellet smoker. Turns out wonderful. So we're gonna get the Pit Boss going, get the brisket on it, and we probably got 12 hours.
Time to undress her. Nice.
So we got enough pellets to do probably 8 hours out of this 12-hour smoke. Start this out at a little bit. I'm gonna set it at 220 to start. Always crack open your pellet smoker. That smoke can ignite and it can cause a fire explosion. Okay, now that we got the smoker lit, as you can see out there, it is boiling. Take this, already fat cap up. I'll put it right there like that. And we're gonna let it smoke away. We're gonna leave it at 220 for about 12 to 16 hours. Take this and stick it into the thickest part of the brisket. And all I'm doing now is I'm targeting about 160 degrees internal before we wrap it. So, low and slow is the key to a tender, moist brisket. We're gonna lay out a couple sheets of aluminum foil. We're gonna go out, we're gonna put the brisket on this, we're gonna bring it back in here, foil boat it, then we're gonna take it right back out there and put it back on the smoker. You don't have to foil it. You don't have to wrap it at all. It may take a whole lot longer. You can wrap it in butcher paper as well, but there's gives and takes for each. If you don't wrap it at all, a lot of the moisture will continue to fall out of that brisket. So we're gonna take kind of the best of both worlds, and we're gonna set it in here, we're gonna put a boat around it. We're just gonna roll the foil up around it and leave the top exposed so it keeps getting crunchy, so we get a nice bark, but we don't lose any of those moistures. Let's go get our stuff of brisket. Then we're just gonna foil boat it up. We got that all wrapped up. We're gonna take it right back out, put it back on the smoker and bump that temp up to about 275. We're gonna take it right to 270 and let her cook away. Our brisket reached an internal of, it says 202, 203, but it's probe tender, and that's what matters. That is a beautiful looking brisket. Look at that. Oh, we're gonna pull it out, bring it in, take a look at it, then get it into our cooler. Stuck. My aluminum stuck. See how it burns the glove? That means that's hot. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Oh, look. Ugh. Ugh. So we're gonna take it in, we'll take a look at it, and then put it in our cooler. Oh man, that smells so good. Look down underneath here. Get all that liquid. So as this cools, it's gonna absorb all that liquid back up into it. So it's probe tender, which means I just took this probe and it pushes right into that meat. Where you just gotta let it rest and it'll come down in temperature nice and slow overnight. We got this amazing colored cooler that has traveled with us so many places. I'm gonna set another tray right over the top of it. We're gonna go in with another couple of towels because this is just our insulation so that we can let it cool down nice and slow. And it'll just keep getting perfect as time comes. The brisket stayed in the cooler a lot longer than we thought it was going to, so it cooled down pretty much all the way. That'll be fine. It's fine. Beautiful brisket. Oh, definitely cooled down all the way. Let's get a look at the middle of this here. We're gonna cut it right there. How about that? And I would say that's a pretty juicy brisket. How about you? Look pretty juicy. Take a look at a couple of these slices. So I'd say that turned out to be a perfect brisket. It's got the hang test. Look at the hang test. The pull test. Oh, yep. That is a perfectly cooked brisket. There's a nice little smoke ring around it. Pellet grill did good. Let's try the lean side. Can't go wrong. Salt, pepper, garlic on a brisket. Yeah, that turned out perfect. Let's go up here and try a little piece of this point. That turned out perfect. We'll get it sliced up, and this is going to be what's for dinner for everybody tonight. I think we will do burnt end, so I'm actually going to take this piece right here. Take that. I'm going to take the back end of this point off here. And we'll make some burnt ends out of that. The rest we'll just cut up for everybody.